Welcome to the Dave Palma Show, the podcast that revives, restores, and awakens your innermost capabilities.
You have the training and the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail?
I love what I do. When you love what you do, you want to be the best at it.
Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
Find your path to success through the journey of those who have succeeded. And now, your host, Dave Palma.
Hi, welcome back to the Dave Palma Show. And with me in this episode, I have a podcaster, lawyer, and a great rags to riches story. Lauren Abrams, welcome to the Dave Palma Show.
Thanks, Dave. I'm really happy to be here.
Happy to have you here, Laura. Happy to have a fellow podcaster. I know you've done law, and I've got not a brush with the law, but I got involved with some employment stuff as a trade union person. So I'm aware of what you're doing, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. Obviously, the podcast is what you're well known for, 52 Weeks of Hope. But I'm quite intrigued about your own story first, to give people inspiration and hope as well. And it's a rags to riches story. So how did you get started with what you did in terms of your job and the podcast?
Yeah. So just the truncated version, of course, is I grew up on the East Coast in the States, and I'm a middle child. I was always the one jumping up and down like, hey, notice me.
Yeah.
And
I'm a middle child, by the way, as well.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
I kept quiet. I didn't want to get nailed.
Oh, okay. No, not so. I just gravitated towards the bad things. People ask me today, oh, did you no, I just really gravitated to just like kind of the bad kids and stuff. Not as bad as some of the things these days, but for me, bad. My family kind of bad. And anyway, I didn't go to college. I was the first one in my family to not go to college. And I just ended up on the streets. And by the time I was 18, 19 years old, I had bummed my way across the country. In my early 20s, I was a wreck. I was just a total and complete wreck. I was 83 pounds. I was strung out. I was living in an abandoned house. I was a wreck. And I didn't see a way out. I really didn't. I couldn't get off of anything, and I didn't know a way out. And I ended up in rehab, just circumstantially.
Right.
And I got hope, and I saw a glimmer of hope, and I got light, and I have been completely changed ever since. And I slowly built a life. And after a few years, I started going to college, which I thought I burned out too many brain cells. I'm not going to be able to learn.
So was you like a big party goer and that kind of thing on the streets doing that? So it was kind of ended up that way, or because some people go on the streets because they've run away from home, say in London, there's a lot that way, and then they kind of end up in rehab and stuff like that because obviously the pressure of all that.
It's a long time ago. People look at me,
okay.
and that's the whole thing. You can't assume anything from looking at someone ever.
No, of course not.
I had somebody an attorney who worked for me, and he always thought I'd been handed everything and Rodeo Drive, Beverly Hills Lawyer, and all of this stuff. And
silver spoon in his mouth,
John. Assume anything at all. And I ended up going to UCLA, and then I went on to a good law school, and then I started practicing law, and I'm always grateful. Always grateful. Can't believe I'm alive. Can't believe my life. Always giving back. Always trying to help others, and just like that's how it is. And going to this day, I'm always helping others and giving back, and grateful for my life. And then I got married during law school. I had kids. I got divorced. And he gave me full custody. I'm raising these great kids, and then I'm going along. And always grateful. I'm helping, and I'm of service in my law practice. I'm helping others. I'm helping people, like you said, discriminated against and wrongfully terminated, not a mill kind of a practice, just really careful about the cases I take and really looking out for my clients. And life's going on, and I'm doing the deal, and everything. And I went through a period of time, this is how the podcast came about, and where I went through a really dark night of the soul. And it surprised me because I'm this really upbeat, positive person, and everyone goes through it. Nobody goes through this life unscathed. You're just not going to. And I tried to dance around it or go sideways, but I just And so here I am, this seemingly and I did have a thriving law practice, but no money was coming in. So this is where the outsides may look some way, but I have to pay my employees. I have all this. Now I have this big life, right? But no money was coming in, and I got really dark, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and I had no one to turn to. I'm in charge, and I went to. I was doing this is pre-COVID, and I was going to this big spinning class, right? And I'm in the back of the spinning class, and Angela Manuel Davis, I love her. She's this very motivational cycle instructor, and she's since opened her own studio with other people. Nike represents her. Oprah takes her on the road. Okay. She's very, if you don't know her, just look her up. And I'm in the back of the class, and the music's blasting, and it's pitch black, and I'm crying, and she's going, if I don't know who I'm talking to right now, but somebody needs to hear this, and she's doing her Angela thing, and I don't know, something in me shifted. And I did not pay for this class. I had classes left in my QUE. I never know how to pronounce that word. No. And something in me shifted, and I knew I'd be okay because and everyone is always okay. Once we always get through it. And look, money did not rain down on me. One of my vendors sued me, who I used to take depositions. I actually talk about this on LinkedIn now because I was so full of shame that I was in this situation, but they never taught us this in law school. And doctors now, because I talk about it on LinkedIn, they're like, they never taught us either. Like, I'm not the only one who's ever gone through it. And there's very long dry periods in my kind of practice where, some money doesn't come in and it just happens. It doesn't make me a bad person, but I was full of shame behind it at the time. And anyway, I kept going, obviously. It all worked out, and that vendor wanted me to use them again. I'm like, I'm never using them again. But, and whatever, I learned and I got through it. But once I got through it, I was like, what the hell was that?
Well, you must have been quite interested in that Depp Heard case going on. That must be quite an interesting. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. That one.
Oh my gosh. I can't. I actually didn't. That got really gross to me. And I was like, didn't they teach him how to testify? Like the first day I watched some clips. I was like, I can't watch this. I just can't.
Yeah.
And plus Virginia's the worst place to ever be in court. Like, what?
Oh, right.
Anyway.
Because America's slightly different to England's a state of, probably Scotland has slightly different rules to England,
Right.
But,
the rules, the laws don't change from each little province. I know. Here it's like, I can only practice. I practice in California. That's it. I don't do federal. Yeah. California is very employee friendly, so I like. I like
that's
California
good.
law. Yeah,
well, it's too late for me, but I mean, I did my. I did my full time as a firefighter, so that's all right.
that's admirable. I love that. I love that you did that. So anyway, once I got through this whole period and everything, and I was like, what the hell was that? I thought, I'm going to go and interview a person a week for a year, a much older demographic. They say nobody on their deathbed ever wished they made more money or worked harder. So I'm going to see my own soul journey, soul search, whatever you want to call it. And why are we here? And I'm not a DIYer or anything like that, but this is my project. So I started doing that and asking a much, much older demographic, what have you gleaned from living life? What have you learned? And I started interviewing a person a week, and they would reveal the most personal information to me. And I'm not a shrink or anything, a psychiatrist or psychologist or anything, but they would tell me really personal.
It's amazing who does podcasts, and it's quite a range of people, diverse of people that does that as well, podcasting, isn't it? So
it really is, and
a lot of celebrities as well.
Yeah, now they are. So, they caught on.
But anyway, carry on with your story. Sorry about that.
Okay, no.
You're not a shrink. You're not a shrink or anything. That's what I was trying to explain.
I would go home and I would write up what they tell me, sometimes send it to my best friend, and in my own verbiage, which is a little funny, but not making fun of them funny, just the way I talk. And after about 2.5 months, there started to be common themes. And I was like, this is so good. This is rich. I have to share this. And I thought, I'll write one of those books where you open it up and you're like, that's just what I need to hear. Or you close it and you open it again and you go, no, that's what I needed to hear.
Well, it's a good title, 52 Weeks of Hope.
And call it 52 Weeks of Hope.
Yeah.
Right. And then COVID hit and I did a pivot because that's what we do in life. We pivot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I started podcasting. And now I could talk to people from all over the world. And I was talking to leaders and change agents. And over the course of time, it's also become certain healers, which half the time I think it's for me. I've talked to people, I've learned how to breathe. And I talked to like EFT tapping person
I've had
in
the same.
Singapore.
Yeah, the same thing happened actually. Podcasting just exploded really, and if your podcast is pretty good, you're going to get some good quality people coming up, asking you to come on. 80% of people that I have on my show, actually, I've asked you to come on my show because of our similarity. Well, certain things in common. Obviously, podcasting is one of them, and the type of podcast, meaning being inspirational, motivational, that kind of thing.
Right.
But 80% of people actually come, ask to be guests on my show, and I kind of like just make sure it's a good fit, and they're on, because of the pandemic, and people just pivoted and thought, right, let's get on a podcast,
Yeah.
So
I guess it's pretty incredible. Well, people need hope. I mean, hope is definitely needed now. So I feel like even if I help one person with this, it's worth it. It's completely worth it.
Yeah.
And so after the first 52, I ask everybody on every episode, I ask them, do you have a message of hope you want to give? And so after the first 52 weeks, I compiled all those messages of hope into 10 overarching messages. And I call it The Meaning of Life. And it's a short episode called The Meaning of Life. And it's just like 20 minutes, maybe a little less. And so now I know the meaning of life.
Well, certainly, I mean, same as me, I will learn something from the guests as well, so it varies really, because some guests just have only a story to tell and they've written a book, but, others are very real experts in their field, with mindfulness and stuff like that. Well, I say stuff like that, I mean, obviously that's something that I've practiced meditation when I was doing my sports. I was a track and field. I told you I did some, sports and fitness was my thing as well. So I knew how to use that. But of course, there's been real top experts, some quite well known, not, I wouldn't say celebrity status, but well known in the field, experts. But yeah, you do learn stuff from your guests, don't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What would you say? I mean, is there an interview that stands out that you've had with a guest?
Well, I just put an episode out with somebody else who interviewed elders. And I was very excited because I thought, let's compare notes. What were your top messages? And I wanted to know what compared to mine, because mine were always like, we need to connect. We're not meant to live in isolation. Texting isn't the same. I was always told, you young people need to put down your phones, which I was always happy to be called a young person. And that we need connection. And David Romanelli, he was great. And his messages and he was talking to like supergenarians, 113-year-old, 100, I mean, he was amazing. He's written books. Was pretty well known. And he's also teaches yoga and meditation, and he has very, very interesting. He has meditation and chocolate, meditation and different things. The chocolate one stood out to me because anything with chocolate stands out to me. But anyway, his messages were that we're resilient. We are a resilient species, and it's amazing what we can get through. There's no way you're going to get through it, which is my message too. We don't get through life unscathed. Everybody's going to go through something. And it's having a sense of humor was his. And having a joie de vivre is how he put it.
Right. I don't know what it is. But,
and so what that is, it's, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've survived this. There must be a reason. I am going to enjoy life. It's having a joyful spirit and enjoying life instead of being like a survivor. I thought instead of survivor's guilt, it's I must be here for a reason and I am going to live my life because I'm here for a reason, and to live with joy and enjoy the moments. It's the moments.
Yeah. No, great. Fantastic.
And
how many,
yeah,
yeah, go on.
go ahead.
How many
Sorry.
episodes have you done now?
87 weeks in a row, I think.
Oh, right. Okay. So it's weekly, once a week.
Yeah, I'm on
Because it's
once a
52,
week.
yeah, 52 weeks. So it's, yeah. Excellent. Well, I see you've been on ABC News, Good Morning America, so that's huge. Oh, but that's with your practice, more of your law
Yeah.
practice, or with the podcast? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No,
But
that's the
still,
law practice.
well, that's great inspiration for people to just see that you've done that in life and gone through, the rags to riches story that you'd have told, or really how you got there and went through a difficult time in terms of, how you almost not went through the wrong path in life, but
Yeah, that was the wrong path.
Oh, right.
My
Okay. It was
kid,
the wrong path.
my kids at the same age right now, both of them.
Oh, okay. That's what
Yeah,
when you
one's
ended up on the
one's
streets,
19.
basically.
One's 19, just finished their first year of college, and the other, or university, as you guys say, and
Yeah.
the other
It's
one
right,
just
we do, yeah.
Yeah, the other one just graduated. So, they're great kids. They never knew me that way. They've never seen me even take a drink. I mean, I'm a healthy mom who's
Yes.
100% present for them every minute.
Yeah.
So,
But the thing is that it's because you don't want them to go that route because you learnt from that, I guess.
absolutely. I
Really.
mean,
So,
they know the story to an
yeah. Oh,
extent.
right. Okay.
They don't care. They
No.
don't,
Yeah.
I
No,
mean, they
that's
don't,
good.
they know it to an extent, I'll say, they don't need
Yeah.
the nitty
Well, I
gritty.
mean, it's fantastic. What would you say? I know we're obviously we're mainly talking about the podcast here, but just focus on you. What would you say would have been the epiphany to turn that around? Because that's really a real key point for a lot of people to turn it around and to stick with it. And then you went to law school, and then that carried on with, people have different adversities in their life, and then it turns around. How did you manage to get over that
I think
and
that
turn it
I
around?
thought I was the only one, which is, that's again and again and again the story, like our secrets, the things we keep in, like it's like imposter syndrome. You think you're the only one that feels this way, and like I'm a fake, I'm a fraud, I'm going to get found out. That's with imposter syndrome, and you're not, like But with me back then, I thought I was the only one. When I went into this rehab and everything, there's a whole, just that one now, who knows how many thousands and thousands, I don't know how many, there's all these people that felt the same way as me, going through the same thing as me. I thought I was the only person who had felt the way I had, who had lied. I mean, there's, that's a whole lying way of life. You're trying to, the dual life, trying to look like I'm fine. Well, not that anybody was around me back then, but you try to hide and to lie and call back home and say, no, I'm fine, and try to get money, and just that whole thing. It's
I
just,
know what you mean. Yeah.
it's so sick. And you think you're the only one that's ever done anything that awful, and you hate yourself and all of that, and find out, oh no, there's a whole bunch of people and they've done way worse. Or some weren't as bad, but it's that feeling. It's the feeling like I'm awful, I suck, nobody's done this, I should die. Like, I mean, and I can't. Like, it's just that awful. And then to get hope, oh my gosh, there's other people. And what I've learned since then, and it's again and again and again. I can remember being a lawyer, and this is the imposter syndrome, or even becoming a podcaster. Oh my God, all these people are going to be talking about me. Like, who does she think she is, starting a podcast? And nobody's talking about me. Like, everybody's thinking about themselves. That's what I've learned. That's a good thing about getting older.
Especially with podcasts, people just want to listen to the conversation. They're not really concerned about, it's like
Me,
that really.
yeah, us,
Yeah. Well, no, obviously they want to get to know the host.
yeah.
Just like a radio host, they want to get to know them, and that's why they listen in and tune into your show every week. Your regular listeners, same for me. But they really want to get into the conversation. So the random, people that suddenly discover, I want to get to know that, or see the title and I want to find out more about this. That's really what it's about. It's not so much about what they think about you, really, in terms of are you bad or good, that kind of thing, really.
Yeah. Yeah, and whenever we're our own judge, we're our own worst enemy anyway. So we can't make judgment calls on ourselves. I mean, you were a track athlete, which I just so admire. I always wanted to run fast.
Right. Okay.
In my
so
dreams,
that's from
I
school
can.
days. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I know.
to be honest, I mean, I had my little times where I kind of went through a bad patch and, stopped a couple of times. And, once when I got injured, and another time when I went through a little bad patch at school because I was pretty good at track. I was 14, 15, and then 15, the hormones kicked in and something bad happened. And I thought, all right, okay. And, rebelled a bit and stopped the track and then got back on it again because it was, something that I was winning everything at school and in the county and everywhere, kind of nationally known by the time I was 16. Do you see what I mean? So it was kind of started it young for me, really. But yeah, no, I mean, that's just my thing. Everyone has their own thing. But I was just really saying what would have been epiphany, the turning point for you, was it going into law? What kind of, when you was in that bad place and suddenly you went into law school, what turned you to that direction?
I started going to college and I just felt really compelled. And I learned to meditate. I learned to really listen to my own inner voice because I could trust it. I'm completely clean. I'm not medicated anymore at all. And I learned to listen to my own inner voice and really just trust that. And to this day, I meditate a lot. In fact, I do mindfulness and compassion meditations. I'm doing a silent retreat for 6 days. Coming up, and I'm very, very big on meditation. It's a huge part of my life. But things I actually didn't think I'd practice law. I got into a good law school, but I was really and I went for I have my master's degree also. I went at night for my master's. I was always, I figured I got into law school, I'll go. And I never thought I'd practice. I just kept showing up for life and putting one foot in front of another and do the next right indicated action and not worry about the results too much. And here I am.
Fantastic. Well, before you go, do you have a message of hope?
Oh, absolutely. And any of my friends will tell you, I'm not Pollyanna, but it sounds like I am because I absolutely firmly believe that everything always works out. Always, always, always. It might not work out the way we think it's going to, or on our timetable. It's never on my timetable, at least, or else it would be yesterday. But everything always does work out. And so just hang in there.
Great. That's fantastic. And where can people find your podcast and everything else that you do in regards to that?
Well, the podcast is available on every player and everything. And on the website, 52weeksofhope.com, it's a number 52. Weeksofhope.com, the podcast it's there too. But the easiest way to get me is 52weeksofhope.com. I mean, on all the social media, everything, but you can just go to the website and be part of our community.
Fantastic, Lauren. Lauren Abrams. It's really great, obviously, having this conversation, having fellow podcasters as well. To come on the show. I've had many as well, as you know, we like to go on other podcasts sometimes. And great story you shared, and thanks a lot for coming on my show and doing that.
Thank you so much for having me, Dave. It's nice meeting you.
That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and remember, if you want to support what we do, then share, subscribe, and leave a review over on Apple Podcasts, or head over to my website, davepalmer.com, and click on Rate Show. Well, that's all for now, but I'll see you in the next episode of The Dave Palmer Show.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.